How do you like that? Starting right on time today. I was 10 minutes late last night. Determined to start on time today. So here we are. Chris Jenkins, credentialed member of the media, covering the Carolina Panthers for Charlotte Vibe. Today, day 3 of training camp took place down in Spartanburg, and I'm here to bring you that recap. As always, nickname Man of the People, meaning I work for you. If you have any questions for players, coaches, go ahead, start typing your comments now, leave them. I will get to them at the end of the video after I give my recap of observations from training camp today, as well as recap on players and coaches talking. So let's go ahead and get into it. Let me start with a very important announcement for those of you who are going to be heading to Spartanburg tomorrow to watch practice. All right. So here's the deal. Tomorrow, Carolina Panthers back together has a time change. I wonder if I could flash it. News alert, news alert. So the new time change for tomorrow is 11 a.m. for practice. The gates will open up at 10 a.m. They will still have all the festivities for fans that they had planned before, but they made the change due to inclement weather that they see coming over Spartanburg later tomorrow evening. So again, one more time, put it up there. Carolina Panthers back together, time change for tomorrow in Spartanburg. It will not be the evening. It will be at 10 a.m. All right. So let's go ahead and get into these questions, or not these questions, but my recap. And also, last night when I did my broadcast, there was a lot of spam that were in the comments. I noticed today that the Panthers had the same issue. So I don't know if they're just like targeting Panther people that are broadcasting or what, but certainly hope that that goes away, and we'll continue to try to make sure that everybody doesn't have to deal with those distractions in the comments on the Charlotte Vibe channel. All right, so still kind of getting used to this new Mac and how to quickly move around. So let me see if I can get to my notes. Man, this is all right, so here we go. Got to it. So overall, in my opinion, it was a little bit of a slow news day today in Spartanburg. I think things are going to really, really ramp up on Monday, which is when they'll have their first full day in pads. Nevertheless, we're going to go through today's practice down in Spartanburg. So, as you know, quarterback battle is the most talked about thing. Shaq Thompson spoke with the media and said, hey, there's competitions at every position. Yes, Shaq, we know. And all the positions are important. Yes, Shaq, we know. But the quarterback position is, arguably the most important position on the field. So Wednesday, Sam was with the ones. Thursday, Baker was with the ones. Drum roll, anybody want to guess who was with the ones today? Yeah, Sam Darnold went with the ones today, and Baker went with the twos today. So a little bit of summary. So they'll do individual drills as far as their position, and they'll go to sometimes 7-on-7. And they did that today as well. They went into the 7-on-7s, and Sam Darnold and his go during 7-on-7s, he went 0 for 4 during one of those periods. He did not have any completions. Defense was playing pretty tough. Didn't allow Sam any completions during his attempt. Baker Mayfield was up next. Baker did a little better, but not too much better. Baker, he connected on one of his passes out of his 4 attempts. That was some of the observations during the 7-on-7. Now, they did today for the first time go full 11-on-11. Now, it's still nothing like what it would be like when the pads are on. So just giving you information so you guys can feel connected and know what's going on development-wise with this team as they continue to go through phases of implementing new things and as far as their plays goes and going against each other. So we had our first 11-on-11 today. Sam was back there at quarterback, and lost my notes. But during that period, Sam was able to lead the team down the field 75 yards, ended it with a touchdown by the running back, Foreman. Again, it wasn't like tackle, so you can't say like, oh, he grinded his way through it. But nevertheless, it was something that Sam accomplished today, and I wanted to report that to you all. Another note from practice today. Haven't talked much about other positions, but I do have a note for you on the offensive line. Cam Irving last year was a starter at that left tackle position. Yet so far, it has not been observed that Cam has practiced with the starters on the O-line or even the second team. Cam Irving, that is. So looks like he may have slipped a little bit on the depth chart this year going into the 2022 season. And also, we had a cornerback retire earlier this week. We have J.C. Horn that's on the physically unable to perform. No estimated time that he'll be back on the field. So Coach Rule mentioned it yesterday that they'll probably have some guys coming in working out to fill that position. And today after practice, there were several cornerbacks that you could see the team working out. So maybe by Monday, could be even this weekend, we'll have some news for you on that cornerback roster position that is currently open. So going into after practice, we get coaches and players. So Matt Rule was up today to talk to us after practice. And talking about some of the guys out there today, DJ Moore is our number one wide receiver, and spoke about DJ Moore is a pretty competitive guy. And what you've heard, you'll hear that about a lot of guys, Shaq Thompson, there's so many other guys. Christian McCaffrey, obviously one of those ultra competitive guys. Mentioned that DJ Moore, and I thought this was interesting, that's why I wanted to share it with you. DJ Moore actually will start to break a huddle before the play has been completely called, because he already knows what the rest of that play call is going to be and already knows what his position is going to be. And he'll run out there quick. And, says that, DJ goes all out, wishes he wouldn't do things so much where he's going to the ground so much, trying to make plays, trying to make catches, but still appreciates the effort that DJ gives and going full speed at all times in practice. So as you saw in that headline, Christian McCaffrey. Oh, I wonder if I have a picture I can show you. Let me see. Do I have it? Let's see. Sorry, got distracted. So, okay, here's one of my dilemmas right now, because, I always just go to be real and transparent when I'm working. This new Mac, great, super fast, latest Mac that they got out. Now, the issue is I usually, with my Windows computer, can hit I think it's Alt-Tab. I do it now without even thinking about it. And I can go from window to window. But the problem is when I have more than, let's say, one Google Chrome window open on my Mac, I don't know how to use the quick keys to go quickly between them. I know some of you guys are watching this like this guy's talking about his computer. It's supposed to be football, but I'm just transparent and real with you guys like that. But so that all goes to say, I'm not going to bring up the picture I had with Christian McCaffrey. But Christian McCaffrey showed up to practice today, no helmet, no jersey, set out, had a vet day. Just something that they were doing precautionary as they try to manage Christian McCaffrey to get him to play as many games as possible this year. Nothing's wrong. Said they really didn't want to have Christian practice 4 days in a row because he wants to have him practice tomorrow, wants him to be out there in front of the fans. So for those that have plans and want to see Christian McCaffrey when you head down there, he was held out today and certainly is looking to be on the field tomorrow morning, 11 a.m. Don't forget about that time change. So earlier in the week, it was noticeable, especially that first day, Baker Mayfield was taking some shots down the field pretty far. Took lots of shots down the field, and it was pretty noticeable that Sam did not do any of those. He was doing a lot of check downs, a lot of short dumps. Today, Sam did throw some long balls down the field and actually completed some as well. And Coach Rules asked if that was something that was purposeful, if something was said to Sam to say, hey, you might want to also look downfield. He said, no, not at all. Just different plays called, just different looks that the defense will give them. And Sam took advantage of those today to throw the ball downfield. So just in terms of evaluating Sam, I think it's good for him, and that he, we didn't get a chance to talk to Sam to ask him if he was personally trying to make sure that he worked some things down the field. But it's good that he did. He's worked some things short. He's worked some things down the field. Again, just saying that's good for him and his trying to show some things good on tape for these head coaches to make their decisions. And lost my train of thought, as I can sometimes do. So what about practice? How does it go? So practice is scripted. It's heavily scripted. So if you're going down to Spartanburg tomorrow, you'll see that it's heavily scripted for both the offense, both the defense. But what is not scripted is when they go and they do those 2-on-2 drills. I'm sorry, the 2-minute drills. I said 2-on-2. When they do their 2-minute drills, which they did today, end of half type stuff, those aren't scripted because those plays have to be called as they see what the defense is giving them. So again, I'm just sharing information I think is cool for those that are watching practice and wanting to know what's going on down there in Spartanburg. Now, quarterbacks, Baker Mayfield, Sam Darnold, who is it going to be? What's the difference in those two? How does one throw the ball differently from the other throwing the ball, et cetera, et cetera? So those types of questions have been asked to players and coaches all week to just try to get an idea. Hey, what about their personalities? What do you notice? I can't say that it's been planned, and probably with a team that's spending so much time together in the dorm, they don't have to have meetings about so many different ways that they're going to handle things. But it seems, in my eyes, very clear that nobody, coach, player, no one is willing to talk about differences between Sam Darnold and Baker Mayfield, whether it's their personality, whether it's how they throw the ball, just anything. You're always going to hear back from those players and coaches that they're both good. Just watch for yourself. Everything looks the same. They can't tell. So, you know, it is what it is. You can't blame a team for wanting to stick together and just let things play out and let people judge for how things are for themselves as they see and say, hey, yeah, Baker comes out with more spin and Sam's comes out like this. So it is what it is. But he did say that those two players do root for each other quite a bit. You know, if Baker's out there and he does good, Sam's rooting for him. If Sam's flip-flop it, they both root for each other. And Sam talked about the fact that they have a good relationship off the field. And, you know, you see that carried on right now. A few other people that we got a chance to talk to, Robbie Anderson. And Robbie's interesting. Robbie is very interesting. I didn't know this, but Robbie used to spell his name Robby. Did I get that right? And now I feel confused, even though I have it here written in my notes. He's now changed it to Robby. So instead of Y, it's IE. You know, this guy's changing the spelling of his first name. I wonder what his mom thinks about that. I wasn't able to ask him that question, but wouldn't you like to, hey, you know, my name is, anyway, I'm about to go off on those tangents that I do, and I don't want to do that today. Why did you change your name, Robbie, and the way that it's spelled? He said, you know, it's personal, but really I like the way it looks better. Something I did before. It was spelled like that when I wore the number 3. I'm wearing the number 3 right now. So Robbie made the change. Next up was Shaq Thompson to speak with the media today. And he revealed that, you know, Shaq gave Baker Mayfield a ride to camp this year. And it was asked, well, how did that come about? And you got to love this. I love it. He said that Baker Mayfield was trash talking through text to Shaq as well as Dante Jackson. You're like, what? How are you talking trash before you even on the team? But it's just, you know, it's just people's personality. They're competitive guys. So, you know, I love it that Baker's truly that competitive of a guy that he's trash talk with people before he even sets on the field with them. But he said through that trash talking text, Baker revealed that he needed a ride, and so Shaq offered him the ride, and that's how it came to fruition that Shaq Thompson gave Baker that ride to camp. And by the way, Shaq says he loves the trash talk. Not that you have to be that kind of person. Coach Rule talked about that yesterday. You know, be who you are. If you're not a loud trash talking person, don't do that. Just make sure that you're executing at whatever position that you are playing. But Shaq says he loves it, whether it's a low blow, high blow, whatever. He loves that dynamic from his quarterback. And he also talked about his injury and his, you know, when will he return? It's going to be day by day. He doesn't want to put any dates out there right now, just wants to do all the rehab and work that he can to get back on the field as quickly as possible. But he did mention that he is not a fan of artificial turf. Doesn't like it, much rather prefer to play on grass. Feels like it's, the stats are out there, the information out there say grass is safer for guys to play on. But hey, he has to play on whatever the field is that he is at. So, and he knows that and understands that, just letting it be known like, hey, if I had a choice, I'd always play on a grass field. And, Shaq's been coaching a lot with the injuries and not being out there on the field, and say, hey, Shaq, you think you see coaching in your future after you're done playing? He's like, nah. Too much pressure, too much stress. He'll do it now because he needs to help out, but just not something that's part of his future plans. And also Xavier Woods got a chance to play. Again, from when Xavier was asked about making his decision on which team that he's going to play for, I like this guy. He was honest. I love honesty. And I don't like when people are ripped for being honest. But he said, hey, who pays the most? And, you got to think about it and say, hey, you don't know how long your career is going to be. Some of these guys are done only playing after 2 or 3 years. He's older, has some more years, but hey, he still can get some more money. And I thought that was cool and funny. So those are my notes. Those are my recaps. Let's see. All right. Finally got back to my screen where I can see you guys' comments. Thanks, everybody, for patiently waiting for me to go through your comments, which I'm going to go ahead and pick up through right now. Give me a chance to scroll up. All right. Will Shaq play or coach this season? I already covered that. Donna, he is going to play. He does not like coaching, has not yet put a timeline on his return. Does it look like Haynes or Yetur Gross taking the first team reps? Right now, it more look like Yetur on those reps. Let's see. Early reviews today. Just going through these comments here. The real McCoy is ready for the Panthers. Appreciate you signing on. Yeah, I'm inside. This background, this background is fake. I am inside right now at the moment. That's why the lighting and everything is so perfect, because I'm indoors right now at the moment. We can't get enough Panthers news. Hey, Donna, I'm glad that you cannot get enough Panthers news, because I'm going to be bringing it to you every day that those guys have practice. You can guarantee that Charlotte Vibe will go live and bring you the news from the day, photos from the day, videos from the day as well. So invitation for those that are watching, hit that subscribe button. We're trying to get to 10,000 subscribers by the end of the season, all right? And I'm going to do that by bringing you a lot of content. I don't know if you were watching or I got distracted by something that was on my computer. That was me setting up interviews with players and coaches to bring to you all. So greatly appreciate you subscribing. If you have not, if you already have, hit that like button. It helps other Carolina Panthers fans find out about me. And the bigger I grow, the more I can have a voice to get content to you all that you love to hear and see. All right. So appreciate it. Some of these comments, I'm not sure what was being said, so I can't completely read it. Yeah, Chris, change your name to Chris. That's crazy, man. My mom would, I couldn't imagine how my mom would react if suddenly I changed my name. Now, I would never do the C-R-I-S. I don't, there's also the K-R-I-S. And yeah, I like it how it is. I think mom did a good job. Young Reckless, you were there and it was hot. Man, it's always hot. It's always hot. Will Robbie Anderson be an asset this season? So right now, I don't get into too many predictions about what's going to be what so early. Only day 3. They're only in, and they're not even in patch yet. But certainly as things start to prevail, Donna, I will give you my opinion on how players are going to perform, who's going to be at what position, et cetera, et cetera. T-Roy, I guess you're talking about Robbie here. You think he just likes a lot of attention. He's definitely a unique kind of guy. Unfortunately, not many guys got autographs today. Yeah, sometimes they are short with signing because, I mean, number one, it's day 3 of being out there in the heat. So I'm sure now that's starting to wear on them. And they're just like, hey, I need to get inside, get out of this heat. And a lot of guys need to go get their treatments done immediately after practice. So with it being so hot, it happens. That's why they were trying to schedule the back to camp thing tomorrow in the evening. Players really, when at the nighttime practice, will stay around and sign autographs for a while. But right now, this heat is just something fierce. Choppy71 says he likes the Baker trash talking like Cam did in 2015. At this point, unfortunately, I'm going to have to go. There's some other things that I have to do today. Wasn't able to get to all the comments. Mostly got through them all. But as always, appreciate everybody for signing in. Hit that subscribe button. Chris Jenkins reporting for Charlotte Vibe, Covenant Carolina Panthers. See you all very shortly.